Good afternoon, people. My people. It's April 14th. It's a Sunday, and I got some stuff to talk about here. I don't like talking about it, and I wish that I didn't have to talk about it, and I wish things of this nature didn't happen. Everybody's gonna die. I mean, you've heard them all. You know, any day above ground is a good day. You know, nobody gets out of this life alive. You know, in AA, you heard jails, institutions, and death. You know, it's best to be, you know, you sober up, or you're locked up, or you're covered up. And this is sort of a tribute to the people that I know that have lost their lives through addiction. And it's sad. The first person I knew when I was living in Wilmington, he was like a kind of the first person that did heroin that I knew. I mean, this was like in 1998, 1999, before the opioid crisis even hit. And he just put himself in all kinds of terrible situations, like with prescription drugs and opioids, and he eventually in 2008 passed away, and it was sad. I had another guy that I met at a treatment center who I called him. I had seen him on Facebook and told him that I was having trouble, that I had to go back because of my drinking had gotten out of control again. And he gave me words of encouragement. He's like, man, I've been to this place. He did like a 90-day program in North Carolina. And it sounded like he was on that pink cloud, man. You know, it was like, he's like, all this encouragement, all this stuff. You know, he's like, you'll be fine. Everything's good. Just, you know, get back in AA. Get with your people, do what you do. I've been doing it, you know. I think he said he had like a couple of months, like when I talked to him. And then one day, I don't know, I had started noticing on Facebook that his name was like in the chat window, but it was always there, like it didn't disappear, you know, like he was logging on and logging off. And it kind of concerned me, so I sent a message to him, didn't get a reply. And I'm like, well, maybe he's doing other things or whatever, so I didn't really think about it. Then the next time I logged back onto Facebook, it was still there. So I went to his Facebook page, and I see a bunch of people gathered around a table, and it said, in remembrance of this person. Apparently what had happened was, you know, of course his tolerance fell, like during his sober period, and he got a hold of some really strong, it was probably fentanyl, and passed away in his car. They found him in his car, and it just knocked the wind out of me. He was a great dude, and always positive, always very talented musician. It's just sad what this stuff does, man. Another girl that I knew, she was an alcoholic. She just couldn't beat it. You know, it beat her. Just knocked her down like till she couldn't get up, and then she had a health problem after health problem. And all the signs, all the writing was on the wall, you know, you gotta stop or you're gonna get covered up. And eventually that's unfortunately what happened. There's been a lot of people lately that I know that have passed away for various reasons unrelated to substance abuse. It's bothering me. I just thought I'd make a video because I am bothered by it, and this fentanyl thing is crazy. It's out of control. The stuff is cheaply made, it's easily distributed, it's easily trafficked, and they don't care. You know, they'll put it in anything. Marijuana, like in one of my other videos, you know, go ahead and kill your customer, or take a risk of, catching a murder 2 charge. Like if somebody finds out who did it, it's not worth it. At the treatment center, I've seen people, in end stage, either they were in liver failure or they were at the end of the road, basically. Jaundiced, ascites, that's fluid accumulation, in your abdomen. They had edema in their legs. The legs look loggy. You could take your finger and press, and it would take a long time for the indentation to rise up. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not suggesting using any substances in any form. This should not be taken as any medical advice. Please contact your primary care provider if you're finding yourself in trouble with substances, be it alcohol, opioids, cocaine, stimulants, whatever. Make sure that you get help if you feel like it's time to do it. According to CFR.org, fentanyl skyrocketed to about 70,000 deaths, overdoses, a year, and this data was from 2020. So that probably had a lot of people's substance problems ramped up during COVID, because you're under lockdown and you can't go anywhere, you can't do anything. So it's like, oh, maybe I'll just quit, when this pandemic's over, or whatever. Everybody was acting crazy. Toilet paper, toilet paper. Don't even get me started on that one. But I can understand, and alcohol abuse ramped up during that time. And in the state of North Carolina, our liquor stores are called ABC stores, the alcoholic beverage control. That's what it is. They remained open. I mean, I don't know if they looked at it as a cash cow tax like situation. They're going to take advantage of people that can't go to work unless they're remotely working, and know that people are stuck in their house, with nothing to do but just drink. And that's just fertile ground for a disaster if you're an alcoholic, or somebody that's into opiates or opioids. It's just not good. Idle's hands, devil's workshop. For alcoholics, according to drug abuse statistics, 261 people die of alcohol-related death every day. So that could be falls, splitting your head open, which I've done before, knocking yourself unconscious, subdural hematoma, ended up in a coma, or overdosing on alcohol if you're sort of alcohol naive, meaning, let's just say at some fraternity somewhere they force you to drink 15 shots of straight liquor. I mean, that kind of stuff just pisses me off, that they do that, the hazing stuff. But that figures in. Car crashes, people losing their lives in wrecks. Either they get hit by somebody that's drinking and driving, or the person drinking and driving hits something and kills themselves, or the person drinking and driving kills other people. I mean, it's sickening, really, to think about. The fentanyl thing, the biggest killer, right? It's the biggest killer of Americans between the ages of 18 and 45, and it spiked, of course, from 2015, and then it reached that peak in 2020. Ethanol is a poison. Ethanol, which is consumable alcohol, it affects just about every system, every organ in the body. It's particularly hard on the liver, of course. You develop fatty liver, alcoholic hepatitis, cirrhosis. I mean, that's pretty much, you can't cure it, so you can just try to arrest it by stopping, making sure you quit drinking. I've met people with cirrhosis. One guy had half of his liver taken out, and I think I met him in treatment, and I said, man, you cannot drink. I don't care how much you want to. You can't. You're gonna die. Just don't do it. Don't pick it up again. It affects the brain in all kinds of ways. It kills brain cells. You could develop what's called Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome. That's basically wet brain, you know, where you have confusion, delirium, memory problems. You're basically rendered brain dead, pretty much. You know, you can't function at that point due to chronic use of alcohol. But I thought I would do this just to remember, like, the people we've lost. We all, if you're in the circle that we are of people that use substance abuse, and another fellow YouTuber just lost his sister to addiction, and that was really depressing hearing that. And I think he's maintaining and he's doing what he needs to do, but it's got to be hard. It's got to be awful. I mean, I can't imagine. It's just some people make it, some people don't. You know, meeting makers make it. I'm not gonna throw AA at you. I'm not gonna throw NA at you. It's something that needs to come from within yourself. If you really want to believe a higher power, you know, something other than yourself, to turn it all over and turn it over and stop trying to be in the driver's seat all the time. But with that, I guess I'll go ahead and cut out of here. I just figured I needed to make a video about this. I'm tired of hearing somebody died from this alcohol, or they died from fentanyl, or they died from cocaine overdose, or they died from this. I'm just, you know, it's depressing, and I really wish more could be done medically to cure this. And I don't think it's going to happen. It's certainly not going to happen in my lifetime, but I would like to see it happen. But as always, you guys take it easy. Stay tuned.